Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jana Marish Akiram, and this is a presentation about treating mental health awareness, analyzing the influence of social media communicators in social media advocacy. It was from the idea that people should be aware of the real scenario of mental health during this time of COVID-19 pandemic. This study's primary objective is to explore social media communicators' role and influence in shaping the public conversation on mental health awareness. With data visualization platforms, the top tweets about mental health awareness were captured, filtered, and subjected to analysis using the theoretical lens of social media communication by Carpenter and Laird Pratchell of 2016. Also, through the data visualization platforms, the people are adept at hosting mental health issues and that the people have their behavior to set things through. In this context, this study is grounded to reflect individuals' serious dealing on the matter in different dimensions. In the process of doing this study, the researcher applied Twitter analytics. It helps provide updated information and helps identify the tweets based on the target audience worldwide. Analyzing how Twitter works is crucial because we know that the tweets changes over time and compare the old and new tweets about the same issue. Twitter analytics is an essential factor because it is only way to gather data and put it in tags or in Google Sheets, where we can compile all these types of data collected from Twitter. Tags is what we use in the first process, and it means Twitter Analytics Google Sheets. First is to search the site and then get tags and see what's next. To have a data set, the researcher had first to gather data from tags. The researcher waited for about a week to gather a total of more than 11,000 data from the search term mental health awareness or hashtag mental health awareness. After, it was enough to collect the data and then drag it to the sheets in Tableau. Tableau is another application used in this study. Tableau is used for most part to analyze and extract some information based on the data gathered in the first place. It is about data collecting and data gathering, but it organizes the data based on the main idea a specific data has. It can be molded into lots of groups based on the kind of extracted data. It drags data from any platform. With this, the researcher gathered specific data about a particular audience from Twitter and used it efficiently in the groups with a specific idea. Her aim refers to mental health awareness. Tableau has many features that can be used for a researcher to gather efficient data because it also has many dimensions to choose through. Each one of them is essential for us to reach a conclusion and gather data. Its features include providing a wholesome view of data through graphs. It also provides the user with live data sources because it gathers its sources from external data sources. This feature gives the user flexibility to use data not just from one source, but as many as the user wants. Tableau is a flexible application because it does not hinder the user from using different types of data. After all, the researcher could have used it as many as we want and can group them according to our liking by using it. It also provided charts to reflect its data to be easily interpreted, and written in the result sheet. Moreover, another application was put to use, the Gephi software, to visualize and manipulate networks. Visualizing the live spatialization is a crucial feature of Gephi. It provides a very intuitive understanding of the layout process and its settings. Using this in the study, it provides network analysis without requiring to learn a graph theory. The researcher explained the type of social media communicator the results belongs to, and the algorithm provided an indication that was molded to analyze the data. Using Gephi takes much time to explore it. It will always depend on the researcher on what to do. Nevertheless, in our case, we used Force Atlas 2 in order to have identified the networks we wanted to know. The data from Tableau imported to Gephi can be seen in the degree centrality that indicates most visible users. The visualization showed that @Lefebvre was the most retweeted user, followed by @Nasha SGS, @DiscernAlways, @IamKim Hemino, and @MentalHealthNZ. These top visible users are not necessarily seen in all graphs because it does not always mean that they are the primary sources of all the tweets. It is related in the analysis that it sustains the idea that mental health is present and rampant on social media, especially in Twitter. These specific users clearly express the topic at hand about each individual's mental health and its importance. The between centrality is to analyze users with the most number of connections. In the visualization appeared, @Lefebvre has the largest number of connections, followed by @MentalHealthNZ. Looking into the account of @Lefebvre, she has a massive number of followers on Twitter. To conclude, she has the potential to influence people for more information between one account to another. These findings can be no logic that @Lefebvre possibly has many influences, but it does not mean that she can be called a professional. In her tweet, it was about plugging her blog on mental health awareness, but on the one hand, her tweet does not have any replies or retweets. As we can see in Tableau's user visibility, @Lefebvre was at the top, and the blue color of a bar shows that she kept on mentioning many people to plug her blog. Following the tools mentioned earlier or applications, the researcher explored the roles and influences of social media communicators in shaping the conversation about mental health awareness on Twitter. The results show that there are different roles in social media, and the researcher was able to determine the roles based on framework of Carpenter and Pracha of 2016, which is about the social media communicator roles, or SMCR, namely customer service provider, mobilizer, information disseminator, researcher, and community builder. Customer service providers are the ones who give free advice on a particular issue. Mobilizers, as communicators, are those who influence others to act on a particular issue or advocacy, such as bloggers, social and religious advocates, and environmentalists. Information disseminator inform the public regarding an event, places, people, and other essential facts. Researchers in social media are those with critical thinking skills and are required to investigate a particular phenomenon. Lastly, community builders are the ones who connect with people who have similar interests from other geographical locations. This is under the mobilizer role. Its content is educating oneself to spread awareness that life is more important than what we are seeing over the media. We are being overwhelmed with lots of information that can have an effect on the mentality of a person. This is the most important role because of its influence to advocate even in a single tweet. This is from Tableau under Information Disseminator. This tweet is provided with information about landlines or telephone numbers. Its purpose is to spread for everyone to see in case someone needs it. A tweet from a community builder. It is a part of such a role because of its content that makes way for people to engage in sessions about mental health awareness. Community builder is therefore applicable, especially in Twitter platform, for its easy way of making everyone notice the intention. This is under the role of a researcher. In Tableau, this is the only data that shows the criteria of the researcher's role. Researchers are being critical and understanding the overall issue, and the point where it is having the role of an advocate and a researcher. However, this tweet's majority of reacting shows that it is part of researcher's role of social media communication. Mental health is scorching these days, intriguing, engaging, and very informational as well. Among the social media communicator roles, the researcher would like to emphasize that mobilizer is the top role we found on Twitter. Mobilizers on Twitter were introduced to be professionals and mental health advocates, followed by information disseminator that most provided a topic about mental health. Next is the community builder with 8 data, researcher with 1, and community service with none. Indeed, these are the communicators who influence people to act or what to do with mental health. These findings explored the roles and influences of social media communication in shaping the public conversation. It proves that professional communicators are using Twitter as a platform and engaging the subject of mental health. This analysis' huge influence is how other professionals can engage in Twitter as a platform to explore the different subjects they want to do. They are influential to the extent that there are known platforms that only a few people have taken an interest in, and some find this and are not that famous to everyone. So, the social media communication rules found in Twitter can be influential that other professionals that do not use this often will use this in the future. Finally, these studies tools gave an impact, whereas the new normal's importance seems to be lightened up. Using the tools for the methods consists of much time for data collecting and gathering. This method can help the research at hand to give a new era of social phenomena to encounter and discover. It covers various scopes and has a range of disciplines that can cover almost all the needed topics. In this method, we can identify what specific relations technology has with culture.
We have learned about the role and influence of social media communicators because they do not occasionally use Twitter but instead use other platforms as well. Thus, it is not necessarily for them to stand by on one platform because they can move to other platforms as well. This learning is an advantage because the scope of influence would be more significant and more audiences would be in the sphere of influences of these SMCs. Using these methodologies to produce or gather new knowledge provides a way to research anthropology in the pandemic. This method complements how hashtags and research terms would interact on Twitter and other social media platforms. It shapes to visualize the trends depending on the researcher's interest. Beyond the data analysis, the methodology offers how the hashtag mental health awareness takes into account on Twitter as it is from the interest of different users in the said platform.
Good day, everyone. This is Jana Maori Shakilang presenting about Twitter mental health awareness, analyzing the influence of social media communicators in social media advocacy.